3481.
Don't be too sure.
Well, you don't want to go on feeling bad, do you? Is there something that you can help to stop it?
I can tell the truth.
Hey, I got your message. Where's Dr. Craig?
He's on his way.
What's the word?
Your father's cardiac cath results are in.
And Craig wants to fill us in.
Well, that sounds cryptic. Does anybody care to venture a guess?
Well, we already know the results of the enzyme study. They showed damage.
Uh-huh. Well, why aren't we discussing this in Dad's room?
I guess Craig wants us to discuss it with him after we have more information.
Discuss it with him. It's Dad's heart.
Warning. I'll come right to the point. Joe's condition is extremely serious. 3 of his main vessels are occluded.
Occluded?
Plaque forms in the vessels, restricting blood flow to the heart. In Joe's case, they're 90% blocked.
90?
It's incredible. He was virtually asymptomatic till the infarction.
Looking at a triple bypass, aren't we?
I realize Joe has an aversion to surgery.
So what kind of life would he have without it?
Frankly, the longer we wait, the greater he's at risk for a second heart attack.
Joe, do you know who I am? Joe.
Greetings, boss. How's it going? Whoa. What's got you cranking today?
The sight of a beautiful young woman.
Okay. Any pain?
No.
No?
Just a dream. I'm fine.
Okay. Sure you weren't chasing Nurse Martin around the bed?
No. I think I was running the marathon again.
Do you run?
Huh?
So do I. I started in med school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I used to do that myself a long time ago.
What's your best time?
Oh, I can't remember. It was years and years ago.
Oh, runners never forget.
Well,
Go on.
4 hours, 9 minutes.
Wow, that's very impressive. Maybe once you're back on your feet, we can train together.
If you can keep up with me.
Is this how you reprimand your staff?
Oh, Parva, have you met this young
Oh,
lady?
you didn't get my message, did you?
What message was that?
This hospital is being run by neophytes.
How is Peter?
That's beside the point.
With all due respect, Mr. Cortland, it is the point.
Would somebody tell me what's going on
This
here?
young woman decided to throw on a lab coat and practice doctor. We are facing a malpractice suit.
Not to mention a wrongful termination suit. Mr. Cortland, I looked into your charges. They won't stand.
We'll see about that.
You know, why waste the hospital's time and money fighting with each other, you know? Maybe we should just forget about what happened last night and move on. You cool with that?
You got lucky on that last shot.
Down the line for a winner.
No, it was a lucky break. You caught me at the net.
I blew by you at the net, Kelsey.
Well, I demand a rematch.
Anytime.
You're not gonna catch me flat-footed again.
I better not, Kelsey. You gotta move your feet, then pivot.
Where did you take lessons? Wimbledon?
No, the country club. Every summer since I was 5, I had a full round of swimming, tennis, and badminton.
Badminton? Nobody plays badminton.
I did. I played everything and anything that kept me out of my parents' way.
So are you going to join the tennis team at PVU?
Who knows?
Hey, I'll come cheer.
Oh, yeah? It's a bit of a long walk from Wesleyan, Princeton.
Well, who needs them when PVU is right in my own backyard? And a journalism department of gold.
Kelsey, you aced all your admissions. You can do better than PVU. You've got your choice of any school.
Yeah, but I've got family here and friends. Why kiss off all that for a bunch of Ivy?
We'd still be here.
What, for semester breaks and holidays? Big whoop. And plus, when people ask me where I'm from, I want to be able to say home, not, well, I existed in Oregon for a while and then wandered through Chicago and then paused who knows where.
Oh, I get it.
You think you can put up with me for 4 more years?
You bet. Freshman year. Bring it on, Kelsey. It'll be great.
I have something important to tell you.
What is it?
You remember when we first met? I had just escaped from Jonathan. I could barely stand. I was weak, confused.
Mean as a snake, didn't trust a soul.
But you were kind and patient anyway. You told me that everything would be fine and that I'd get through it.
And I was right.
There's so much that you don't know.
What's going on, Sky?
Edmund, it's not easy to admit to doing something so... I'm sorry, did I interrupt something?
Honey, would you excuse us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just why don't you and Maddie go to the conference room, and I'll just be a minute here, and then we'll have lunch, okay?
Okay. No, Maria, stay. You should hear what I have to say. It involves you, too.
New York Newsday,
TV Guide,
the Los Angeles,
and New York Times agree.
I'm the guy with the client's life in my hands.
I'll be right beside you the whole time. I can't put you on the stand if I know you're gonna lie.
Look, I did what I had to do to save my client, and it may have saved yours.
Practice makes perfect.
I'm gonna pull you through this.
ABC Saturday, 10, 9 Central.
Tell me more about this bypass.
Well, even though it's frequently performed, it's still a very serious procedure. Joe, being over 60, complicates things a bit.
What kind of percentage are we talking here?
The mortality rate climbs from 1 to 9% with patients in his age bracket.
Still, that's a managed risk.
What's his ejection fraction?
What's over 50%.
Well, you want to translate that for me?
If your father's ejection fraction was under 40%, he'd be a poor risk for the surgery. Since Joe's is over 50%, he's a good candidate.
So 10%'s that crucial?
Your father's chance of a full recovery are excellent.
Oh, good. So when do you want to do this? When do you want to operate?
Well, waiting can only increase the risk. Physically, there's no reason to put it off, but his state of mind is a different issue. Let's give him time to accept the situation, get a little stronger, then we'll proceed. A few days shouldn't pose any serious risk.
I'll talk to him.
Good.
Thanks, Dr.
I'll review my schedule and get back to you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
What's he talking about Dad's state of mind? There's nothing wrong with Dad's state of mind.
Oh, you know, he's been pushing himself on top of everything since he's been in here.
Yeah, as usual, so?
He's pretending that it's...
Ma, Dad might not necessarily be pretending. Dad might legitimately feel better.
Darling, he's scared.
Well, that makes sense. Who wouldn't be?
But he's acting as if it's business as usual.
Isn't that a good sign?
No. Ignoring the situation is a far cry from being optimistic.
But he gotta know that he needs a surgery. He's not...
We have got to confront him with that.
Well, we need to force him to...
What are you talking about, force him? The facts speak for themselves. Your dad's not gonna... You don't honestly think he's gonna refuse the surgery, do you?
It's possible.
No, it's not. That's impossible. He's the head of the department. Besides, Dad would never risk checking out on us.
Honey, did Joe ever talk to you about his father?
Yeah, he's a nice guy that liked kids, so...
What's the connection with the bypass?
Well, Joe's dad had a serious valve defect. Back then, treatment was highly experimental. And Joe got his dad into a very special group. And it was ahead of its time. I mean, valve replacement back then was like putting a man on Mars. Well, anyway, Joe's dad's condition got worse, and got critical. They decided to operate, and well, he died on the table, and Joe's never really gotten over it.
Oh, boy.
Well, Dad's case is different, isn't it?
Of course it's different. I mean, procedures now are well advanced to that. There's no comparison.
But it is still open heart surgery, and that's similar enough.
Dad afraid. It doesn't seem to fit, does it?
No. You want Ted and I to talk to him? Maybe...
And let him know that I told you he was afraid? No. I'll take care of it.
Well, we do what?
Stick around, back me up.
You sure? I mean, I can twist Dad's arm.
Well, no, you two. Wish me luck.
Dr. Morris, dial 118, please. Dr. Morris.
She'll convince him. Dad'll come through. I mean, he's a doctor.
He'll sign off on it.
Yeah, no problem.
Jeff recommended Dr. Doyle to us.
As what?
She's got a very impressive record. #1 in her class. Although, I would have preferred that she had registered before treating patients.
Right. But I completed my boards, and I'm a second-year intern, fully licensed.
Why didn't you tell me this last night?
Well, but I just figured that maybe you... I'm sorry, Mr. Cortland. I was very concerned about your son. I should have given you my credentials right on the spot, but... How is Peter, anyway? He's such a great kid. You know, he's very brave.
Yeah, oh, he's fine. Running around the house as good as new.
Would you please tell him that I say hi? And also give my best to your wife.
Yes, I will.
I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under more pleasant circumstances. Well, I've got rounds to make, so I'll be back. But how about a game of gin and rummy later?
Yeah, you know where to find me.
I do. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, she seems to be competent. A little rash.
Seems to me a perfect recipe for a fine physician.
Joe, have you ever heard of a Dr. Chapman, Richard Chapman?
Yes, what about him?
Well, he's politicking for a seat on the hospital board.
No, he's got no place here in Pine Valley Hospital.
I agree with you.
His claims are completely ridiculous. That he can change a person's sexual orientation. That's absurd.
What is it called? Aversion therapy.
Anyway, there's not one single respectable study that bears any evidence in his favor. I mean, he's not going to serve in this hospital, not so long as I'm running the place.
I agree.
I really ought to draw up a memo for the staff alerting them to his unorthodox therapy.
Quackery, that's what it is.
What I'd like to do is take out an ad in the local paper exposing it to the public.
Whoa, wait just a minute. No patient has brought charges up against him.
No, not one.
Let's not land ourselves in the middle of a lawsuit.
I just don't want anybody on staff referring patients to him. I mean, if I had my druthers, what I'd do is close him down and tear up his license to practice medicine.
Opal! Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm staying here in Pine Valley and going to PVU.
Pretty cool, huh?
But I thought... I was. And you? I did. What? Why? I changed my mind. Wesleyan's out and PVU's in.
Well, what's the cause for the big switcheroo?
It's what I wanted all along. I just didn't know.
Any special reason?
About a dozen. I hate being, seeing new faces and new places and being the new kid on the block for the 100th time. And I know I'm not Miss Popularity, but I do have some friends, and with Grandpa in the hospital, I just don't want to leave.
Well, you told Ruthie?
No, but I need to tell my mother first. Can I use your phone in the kitchen?
Of course. You know where it is.
She wants me to go to Reed in Oregon and live with her. Like, that's gonna happen.
Well, say hi to her for us.
Will do.
Well, she's flying higher than a jumbo jet.
TVU's tops in journalism.
It's got a few other perks, too.
Well, it's got a great campus and Bruno's Pizzeria.
And you?
No, she's not staying because of me. She's got family here.
Oh, yeah, her mother's all the way out in Oregon.
Yeah, but they're not tight.
Well, I don't really care what the reason she stays. I mean, I just think it's great. We're going to be seeing a lot more of Kelsey.
You're here.
Don't you have a doctor's appointment?
I guess. I better go upstairs and get dressed.
Yeah, you don't want to keep him waiting.
I should have never agreed to go.
Now, honey, this means so much to your mama. It'll help mend fences.
I know. The ball's in my court, but don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Kelsey.
Well, therapy's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, but I'm doing this for my mom. There's nothing wrong with me.
Oh, I know there's nothing wrong with you. But maybe Doc Chapman can make some peace between you and your folks.
Yeah, I gotta go for it.
And I promise, cross my heart and hope to die, I will not tell a single soul, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck. Palmer Cortland, if you got that young woman fired, I'm going straight to the
I
hospital.
most certainly did not. Dr. Doyle apologized to me.
For what?
Well, for not giving me her credentials. She's not only a certified MD, she's here under the recommendation of Jeff Martin. She graduated top of her class. She seems to have a wonderful future.
And she seems to have some charm, too.
Well, if she had been a little bit forthcoming, all this unpleasantness could have been avoided.
Isn't that just always the case?
I have some phone calls to return. I'll be in the upstairs study.
Okay, I'll check in on you later.
And if a Dr. Chapman calls, I'm not in.
Chapman, why?
Well, he's bucking for a seat on the hospital board.
Demetrius?
Well, no, I don't want to jump from the frying pan into the fire.
Well, what's so bad about this Chapman?
He claims that he can change a person's sexual orientation.
Yeah, so?
Not a shred of proof that it can be done.
How did you get those files?
Just doing some scheduling.
Well,
Janie sent them up.
may I schedule a bit of your time?
How about the rest of my life? Yes, beating like a metronome.
Well, I understand Palmer stormed in.
Indeed, but we put out that fire.
Well, did Dr. Doyle survive?
She left here with her head squarely on her shoulders.
Good. How are you feeling?
How do I look?
Wonderful.
But there you are. Nothing to worry about.
It's an old habit.
It's time we develop new ones. We've been through it all together, sweetheart, and not even a tornado can keep us down for long.
Well, we did survive Tad's adolescence, which ended about a year ago. And Jake's thrill-seeking period.
Yes, his bungee jumping, his hang gliding.
Yes.
Audie.
Then Kelsey.
We're indestructible. I'm living proof. And it's time we took a trip. Another honeymoon. Hawaii.
That sounds wonderful. When you're recovered.
But you're the one who's always telling me I've got to relax, take time off. Sweetheart, I know you were scared. I was scared, too. But we don't have to worry anymore. It's all over.
Well, it will be over. Dr. Craig.
Oh, Dr. Craig. He's a cardiologist. Those fellas have never done tinkering. I tell you, I'm feeling fine. I'm like my old self again. I have no pain in the chest. Those numbers, they couldn't be better. If it ain't broke, we don't fix it. I'm gonna be fine. Not only that, I'm gonna start running again.
You haven't run in over 10 years.
All the more reason to start again. You know, Allie does marathons. I thought the two of us could
Allie's
get...
a youngster.
So, what am I, too old?
No, you're not too old. You're just... Well, would you consider starting with just walking?
No, you're such a scaredy cat. All right, we'll start walking, power walking. I'm gonna have a new diet. Gonna watch my diet, gonna exercise regularly. You and I are going to have a very healthy life from now on in, because I want to spend another 50 years or so with the most beautiful woman in the world.
I love you.
Well, that's a relief to hear. So, we still on for Hawaii?
Oh,
I've done a lot of stupid, selfish things. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve it, Edmund.
Deserve what?
I was so desperate to feel loved and accepted. I built up everything in my mind. I told myself that you weren't good enough for him.
Sky, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, there's no need to bring it up now.
Please, let me finish.
I mean, Edmund's got a smile that's pretty irresistible.
But I used the situation. I thought if I created a reason for him to turn to me.
What reason?
I tried to manipulate things so that you...
Sky. Sky, what's going on? What could be so awful, okay? It'll be all right. Just tell me. Tell me what's going on.
Now's a terrific time to use your...
I'm so ashamed.
Look, you'll feel better if you get it off your chest.
Sky, nothing is unforgivable.
Erica stole your baby and let you think it was dead. Have you forgiven her?
I will one day.
But how will you ever get past what she did?
Got a beautiful daughter, and I've got an incredible husband and son. And I won't cheat my family by living in the past. I'm not going to let what Erica did to us hurt us any more than it already has.
You can really do that? Just let it go?
Oh, I've made some pretty terrible mistakes. And thank God I was forgiven. And I think it just makes it a lot easier to forgive others.
Maria's more evolved than I am. Erica kidnapped our daughter. She cheated us out of time with her that we'll never get back. And she tried to destroy my family, and I will never forgive her for that. I hope she rots in jail for a good, long time.
I'm sorry. I'm late. I promised Roberts that research.
Wait a minute.
Sky, you didn't know
what's going on?
what you came to say.
I'm sorry. I'm late. I couldn't tell him. I tried, Uncle Stuart. Edmund will hate me. He'll never forgive me.
Sure he will, Sky. Sure he will.
No. You didn't hear him. He's still so angry.
You can make him understand.
No, it's not possible.
Sky, anything is possible. Look at you. You can't go on like this. You're jumpy as a cat. You're going to make yourself sick.
Who cares? I don't.
Well, I do. Because I love you. Now, whatever it is that you've done, whatever your secret is, you've got to let it out. You know, when I have a secret or I'm afraid of something, I write it down. And then whatever it is I was scared of just doesn't look so scary anymore.
You want me to write a letter to Edmund and Maria?
Yes, if that's what it takes to make you feel better. Go on, Sky, try it.
So, how do you take the news?
When can we schedule the surgery?
I didn't tell him.
You didn't tell him? Why not,
didn't
Mom?
tell him,
Come on.
He has convinced himself That he's better. Good as new.
How can he... He knows the results of the enzyme test.
Darling, he's convinced himself that the worst is behind him.
Yeah, well, it will be after the surgery.
Boys, your father is facing his own mortality. And it's terrifying. He's acting as though if he ignores it, it doesn't exist.
No, this doesn't make sense. Dad deals with death every day.
Yes, but that doesn't make it any easier when you're the patient.
Craig wants to operate on him ASAP.
Well, I want to talk to Dr. Hanley. He's the head of psychiatry.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold it just a second. We're going to bring in a shrink on this?
Joe's denial will keep him from getting well. We have to find a way to help him deal with all of this.
No kidding. Mom, listen, Dad cannot decline that surgery.
Don't worry, darling. I won't let him.
I come bearing gifts.
Filet mignon smothered in wild mushrooms and burgundy grays.
Oh, you're such an optimist. So where's Palmer the Terrible? Did I come clean on his son's case?
You handled him well.
Did I permanently tee off a board member?
I think you made a fan.
Palmer Cortland?
You left here suitably impressed.
Oh.
Now, let me have a look at this face you brought
Okay,
me.
not so fast.
You ate my supper.
No, not this time.
Oh, really? I was looking forward to chocolate fudge sundae with extra whipped cream.
Oh, sure. Right before you're about to become a permanent member of the Zipper Club.
What?
Yeah, you're set for cabbage times 3.
A triple bypass?
I thought you knew.
How about it, Jake? Am I scheduled for surgery?
Hello? Judith, it's, Opal Cortland. It's not too late over there in London, is it?
Sid and I are on our way out.
Oh, well, this won't take but a minute. I've just been hearing some, talk about this, Dr. Chapman.
Oh, nothing's wrong, I hope.
Well, he's been angling for a seat on the hospital board.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, well, about this, therapy technique of his.
I have researched his therapy very, very carefully, Opal. I spoke to people that he's helped. Dr. Chapman is a godsend.
Yeah, well, it's just that, you know, I've been talking to some folks, and they say that you really cannot change who and what a person is.
Nonsense. Sexual orientation is learned behavior.
But...
Look, I have interviewed people, Opal. Dr. Chapman's success stories. Kevin isn't happy, and my son deserves a normal, happy life, and we deserve to be a happy family again.
Well, I want that for you all, Judith, of course, but I mean, don't you think we ought to let Kevin in on the larger picture here?
And have him refuse to give this a chance. Poor Kevin. I mean, he is so sure he's gay. He hasn't even tried to date girls.
Well, I love your boy, Judith. And
then help him. Encourage him to continue seeing Dr. Chapman.
All right. Okay, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Opal. We can turn this around. I know we can.
I've reviewed the series of events from February '96. It was a tough time, wasn't it?
Yeah, the worst.
How's your brother Jason?
Well, we don't speak much, all right.
Well, you haven't visited him?
No.
And yet you were close at one time.
That's what my mom said?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, we were close, I guess.
Then everything fell apart. After Jason shot Laurel Dillon?
Why, isn't that in your file?
Well, these are words, Kevin. I'm interested in how you feel.
Rotten.
So you feel partially responsible for what happened. Is that correct?
I'd like to speak to my dad. Alone?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I want a straight answer, Jake.
Yes, you need a triple bypass, Dad.
When were you planning to tell me?
When you were ready to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Craig talked to you?
And Tad and Mom.
But not to me. I will not be treated like a child. Is that understood? I am his patient, not you, not your brother.
Dad, it's not unusual for somebody to tense up when they hear bypass.
Get Craig in here. Now!
Yeah. Dr. Martin wants Dr. Craig in here, in his room. Now, thank you.
I thought he knew.
Yeah, he does now.
Why didn't Dr. Craig tell him?
It's personal.
Oh, Jake, I'm so sorry. It just came out.
You know,
I had no idea.
Really? Well, there's a lot of things around here you don't have much of an idea about, okay?
Is that a coincidence?
No, that's a command performance. Dad's orders.
I heard your dad's a good candidate for surgery.
He is a good candidate. He goes beyond the numbers.
I don't get it.
Good news is you don't have to get it, okay?
Jake, listen. I would never do anything to hurt your father. He's a great guy.
I know. I'm sorry. I snapped. Let's just drop it. Don't worry about it.
Listen, is there anything I can do to help out? You know, besides keeping my big mouth shut?
No. No. But that's a nice start.
Jake?
What?
Your father wants to see you. Dr. Doyle. May I have a word in my office?
Oh, boy.
And neither you nor any other member of this family will decide how much information I am to be given about my own condition.
I'm sorry you found out about it like this.
Well, Dr. Doyle treated me like a peer, and I expect the same from you. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
I am still chief of staff of this hospital, and I will be treated as such. Now go tell your mother I want to see her right away.
Mom's happy I'm staying put at Grand's. She did have that when am I gonna see you voice going. And she wants to fly out and help me get ready for school. Like I need a new outfit or a new pencil box or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Where were you?
Oh, my brain's about to fry circuit.
Is something wrong?
Honey, are you sure you made the right decision? You know, hunkering down here in Pine Valley?
PVU's got everything I want.
You mean like Kevin?
Well, he's a definite bonus.
Yeah, you two are mighty tight. I mean, I saw he was all smiles when you broke the news.
Kev's the best. Where's he? I thought we'd go to, holidays and celebrate.
He, just went out with a friend.
I didn't hurt anybody.
Not directly, no.
What, are you saying it's my fault?
Do you feel it was? You announced that you were gay, and Jason channeled his anger violently, resulting in Laurel Dillon's death.
But I didn't... I mean, it's not my fault.
It's only natural to feel remorse.
I do. I'm really sorry. I mean, Mrs. Dillon was a nice lady.
Now, Jason's in prison, and your family's been torn apart.
Yeah, but we had problems before that.
Oh, well. All families experience highs and lows, Kevin. I believe this downward spiral can be reversed. But we can't heal the wound without addressing the cause. Make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
In your case, all the difficulties you and your family have experienced during the last year and a half can be directly traced to your belief that you're gay. Don't you agree?
I should have told you the minute I walked in.
I expect honesty from you, Ruth. I'm not an invalid.
But you were feeling
I got
so
more
great.
respect from a virtual stranger.
Joe, darling, I wanted to be the one to tell you. I had no idea you'd find out from somebody else before we had a chance to talk about it.
We did talk. You let me go on and on about Hawaii. Must have sounded like a damn fool.
Oh, darling, we're going to go to Hawaii as soon as you're recovered.
With Dr. Craig.
You agreed to the surgery?
From now on in, he will deal directly with me. I hope you approach your own patients a little differently.
You're my husband, not my patient. Joe, you know the situation. You've seen many other cases exactly like yours. All right, I let it slip because I felt the time wasn't right. I made the wrong choice, and I'm sorry.
So am I.
Well, I'm really in a no-win situation here, aren't I? You don't want to be protected, and you don't want to hear the truth. Joe, surgery is not an option. It's a necessity.
Are you still scheduled to deliver a speech at that nursing seminar?
As far as I know, but I can get us.
No. You go ahead and do it. I will handle my situation.
If that's what you want.
It is. Ruth.
Yes.
Tell housekeeping to get rid of these flowers. The place looks like a damn funeral parlor.
Family and a few friends, but Mama gave me Anita's old christening dress. Did you want to invite anybody from work?
What?
Babe? Were you thinking about Sky?
I hate riddles.
Well, she'll tell us when she's ready.
Yeah, but that mea culpa routine, I mean, practically down on one knee. What was that all about?
Did you invite the Did you get the photographer?
I hired Paul Facenda.
Wow, why didn't you just get Scavullo?
Because nothing is too good for my little girl. Yeah.
Daddy would do it himself, but he doesn't want to miss one precious minute on her magical day.
Waka, waka, waka. Yeah.
Stuart, I can't even admit it to myself. How can I write it down?
Well, you don't have to mail it even. Just make it between you and your conscience.
Okay. I'll try. Good. I love you.
Oh, Sky, you're such a good girl. You are.
You might be the only person who thinks that.
Okay, now get busy. And if you need to talk to me about anything, you just call me, okay?
Okay.
For scene from the next All My Children.
Tomorrow on All My Children.
I need you to stay away from me for a while. Opal, are you trying to play matchmaker?
So the million-dollar question now is, have you figured out what you're going to do?
I think I have.
Dylan McDermott returns in The Practice, ABC Saturday.